I want to quickly share a small experience that I recently went through, but I want you to understand that this short experience, at least for me, had a really incredibly powerful message behind it. So about a week ago, I'm at the gym and I'm working hard. I'm trying to get the gains. I'm trying to lose the weight. And while I'm busy doing my workout, I look to my left and I see this incredibly young family all working out together. I mean, they can't have been older than 35, mid 30s to maybe even early 30s. They were pretty young. And with them was their little boy, right? And this kid must have been like 4 years old, maybe 5 years old, right? Honestly, man, it was probably the cutest sight that I've ever seen. Like, it was so not only wholesome to see this young family out at the gym, taking care of their health, working out together, enjoying their Sunday. This was a Sunday, by the way. So they were all together, like spending their Sunday outing pretty much at the gym, getting healthy together, which I thought was a really nice thing to do. And I'm sitting there just watching this family kind of creepily, actually. I tried to look away, but I just couldn't keep my eyes off them. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. But as I'm watching this family, working out together, having a good time, something amazing happens. I notice what the dad of the family is doing during his workout. And at this stage of the workout, man is busy lying on the floor, holding himself up on the Smith machine, essentially the bar. So he's holding himself there and he's doing like mini pull-ups on the bar, right? And this man's like jacked, bro. This guy's a proper gym boy. So he's looking ferocious, he's cranking out the workouts. But that's not the thing that I was so impressed by. While dad is busy doing his pull-ups, I notice his little son, like I said, 4 or 5 years old, right? At the Smith machine next to him. And he's doing the exact same thing as his dad. And bro, it's just, I wish I had footage of it. Obviously, I'm not going to just post random people on the internet, but if I could just paint the picture for you, just imagine this little boy, like 5 years old, right? His dad, big and muscular, is like pulling himself up. And right next to him is his little son doing the exact same thing. I mean, he's repping for his life, He's getting after it. He's just so in the zone. And I'm watching the two of them do this together. And I mean, mom's in the background, like filming, and she's like smiling from ear to ear. And it was just such a wholesome moment as a whole. But not only was it a wholesome moment, for me that day, it became a very big lesson that I often forget to implement on my own self-improvement journey, especially when trying to teach you self-improvement through my own experiences. And the lesson is this: you can give the absolute best advice the world has ever heard. You could have pioneer level ideas, strategies on how to change and transform your life, strategies on how to diet better, how to exercise, how to get better sleep, how to find motivation and get the hard work done. I could give you the Bible of self-improvement if I wanted to. But the sad reality is that at the end of the day, that's not what's going to change your life. Because the truth is, people will never do only what you tell them to do. People will only do what they see you doing. You hear the annoying old adage countless times over and over again: do as I say, not as I do. And parents love to spew this absolute bullshit to their kids. Stop doing that, it's bad. I mean, even though mom and dad may smoke, and even though mom and dad eat junk food 10 times a week and, never do anything productive, you shouldn't do that. You should go work hard, and you should be fit, and you should be healthy, and you should improve yourself, despite the shitty life that I lead. As an example to you, as my kid. People will never be inspired by the promises you make. These grand gestures of one day I'm going to become this. One day I'm going to get a six-pack. One day I'm going to become the greatest YouTuber you've ever seen. One day I'm going to sell a platinum album. People hear the stuff from you all the time. You making all these promises of how you're going to change, how you're going to get your life together, how you're going to get your shit in order. And they've heard it so many times over and over again. But they don't believe you, bro, because you've never actually given them any reason to believe you. I want you to pick somebody in your life that you look up to immensely, somebody that you are inspired to become like because you think that they are absolutely incredible, right? And on the other end of the scale, pick somebody that you would really not want to be that you know of, right? Somebody that you just look down on and think like they really are just a waste of space. Obviously, you don't have to be mean like me, but pick somebody that you don't really have any inclination to be like, right? Take those two people and compare them. And the first thing that you might notice about the comparison is that the person that you are inspired by, the person that you want to be like, actually does the things that they say they are going to do. They lead by example because they have the life that you want to live. Whereas the person that you look down on and you couldn't really be asked about, right? You notice that these people are just full of excuses, or they're full of a victimhood, right? This person is most likely a victim of their circumstance, always blaming other people for their problems, always promising that they're going to change and they're finally going to make the change and become the kind of person that they've always dreamed of becoming.
You're a victim.
Here we go, CS.
That is what separates the inspirational guy from the guy that is not worth your attention. It's the guy that gets shit done. It's the guy that leads by example. And that is the kind of person you have to become if you have any hope of inspiring the people that look up to you. This kid that I saw at the gym wasn't copying his dad because his dad told him to copy him. He wasn't doing those reps so ferociously and with such passion because his dad said, hey, if you come to the gym with me, you better work out like me. Imagine telling your 5-year-old son, you better get serious, little boy, about your gym life, get the gains. But he didn't tell his son to do that. He saw his dad, his hero, doing these things. And you know what? He thought to himself, I'm going to be like my dad. I'm going to do the exact same thing. And it was so perfectly embodied in that moment when dad and son, it doesn't matter if the son was 5 years old or 25 years old. Son was following dad. He was doing the right things. He was doing the hard work, not because his dad or anybody else told him to do it, but because he saw the actions being performed in front of him. He was led by example, the way a true leader should lead. If you ever want people to look up to you and be inspired by the kind of man or woman that you are, you got to get shit done and show people your progress instead of making all these huge, grandiose promises all the time. You need to actually man up and do the things that you say you are going to do. What kind of man do you want to be?